Hey, a couple secrets in listing your house. You want to know them? You want to know them right now? I can give them to you right now. The guy's going to come in. He's going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you what to do now, so you don't have to wait till the listing appointment to figure out what it is. You can get started right away. First of all, first impressions. Huge, huge, huge. First impressions mean as soon as the car door opens and they start walking up the steps. All right? Walking up the steps, they're looking around. What you want to do is have all the bushes cut back. I mean, really cut back. It makes it look trim. It may look bare, but I can tell you, they're gonna look at that and they go, wow, you know, horticulturists, they really know what they're doing. Look how they've trimmed everything down. You know, they're waiting for it to grow back. They're really paying attention. Bark. Bark is huge. Bark covers up everything. You know, lay down the bark. Probably already know to lay down the bark, but if you don't, that's what you do. The lawn. Make sure the lawn is trim. If you can put, you know, new, a Miracle Grow on there for a couple weeks, get it all nice and green and fluffy, cut it down, you know, it makes it nice and shiny. Definitely. Power washers, huge. Go rent a power washer and do the concrete. It'll take off all that old dark mold, that old stuff that's built up. It'll look brand new when it's done, especially if you have the marble look, you know, the top rock look where the, you know, the stones are on the top of the, I don't even remember what it's called. You know, it's a concrete thing. You know, trust me on this one. Okay, you walk up to the door. The door should be newly painted, right? And don't paint it. You know, make sure it's dry and you paint it correctly so it's not sticking. You know, you don't want it to be sticky. You don't want obvious. You just paint it, but just paint it. Get rid of all the cracks. Make sure the porch and all the trim around the doors all filled new. You know, make it look good. This is your first impression. Bam! You know, in terms of stairs, obviously, all that has to do with that. You know, you don't have to paint the outside of the house, although it's recommended, you know, but that could be pricey. I'm just talking about the basic stuff. So you got, you know, your bark, your power washer, you trim the plants back, you know, even those big rhododendrons, you know, that grow all over the place, and you know, everybody says, "Oh my God, look at that beautifully huge rhododendron." Cut that freaking thing back. I mean, honestly, it'll after 2 years, it'll look so much better. You know, it's just the way. And then the trees that are growing above the house, you know, on the gutters and stuff, get those branches out of there. Bring it back. I can't tell you how many homes I've walked up to where the trees, they've just left them, and they've just left them growing right over the top of the roof line. I mean, they just look ridiculous. They look like the trees taking over the house. It's just absurd, you know? Anyway, inside, boom, inside, you know, take your stuff off the walls, right? Especially if you have nice artwork. They don't want to see your artwork. They want to envision their artwork on your wall. If you have really nice artwork, especially, they're going to have a really difficult time picturing their own artwork. Trust me on this. Get rid of the clutter. Get rid of everything off the shelves as much as you can. Get the thing so cleared out and so simple. Like, box that stuff up. You're moving anyway. Box up your stuff and get it off the walls. Get it off the counters. Again, buyers want to walk in and they want to picture their own things in the house. If you have clutter in the way, psychologically, they cannot envision their things in there. And it hurts the sale. It makes it harder for them to think, to imagine themselves being there. It's a huge deal. These aren't new tricks, by the way. This is the basic. This is the real McCoy here. You know, I've got 25 years in this business. My name is Paul. I'm with Bluewater Properties, and I sell a property in this area. There you go. Grew up here. The kitchen. I can tell you emphatically, if you've got mom or if you've got the wife, mom or the wife, if they say, "Yes, honey, I want this house," you know, you better be sure you're going to get an offer on that property. If they say, "No, honey, this isn't it," and you love it, it's got like the best game room ever, like 3D imaging. I mean, it's got, you know, all kinds of stuff going on in there. The best built-in sound system for, I mean, I don't care what it is. It isn't going to matter. If she says no, it's no. It's no, right? Kitchens. Women spend the most time generally in the kitchen, all right? The kitchen has to be like #1 polished. I mean, the best you can make it. If you're just cleaning up what's already there, make sure it's as clean as can be. Make sure it smells good. Do the smell test. Have a neighbor, have a friend come over, take a sniff, because sometimes we can't smell. I can tell you how many stinky houses I've been in. You know, have a smell test done, right? The oven, make sure the oven is clean, and the stove, make sure that it's just spark. They open it up and it glows, it shines. It makes it look new. It gives it a feeling of fresh, and it makes it appear that you really took care of that property. All right? These are huge things. Bathrooms, you know, next down the line. Obviously, they should be clean. There's no question about that. But and then there's, okay, so now you take down these things off the walls, kind of circling back here. Paint. Obviously, you might have some areas where the paint is faded from sunlight, you know, radiation behind the pictures and mirrors and things like that. So fresh coat of paint it's a huge deal, and it makes the house look shiny and new. You know, back in my day, they used to just, you know, say, well, you open a paint can in the closet, you know, and it gives the idea that the house has been painted because it smells like paint. It's kind of like, you know, burning vanilla, you know, or having those vanilla smell things going on in your house. It smells like vanilla, makes people feel good. You know, like open houses, they'll cook cookies, you know, they'll be like grandma's house, cooking cookies. It kind of reminds you of grandma's house. You know, these are the things. They're just little things, but they make a big difference. They make a big difference in the offer. They make a big difference in how many offers you get. And these are the tricks. This is exactly what the listing agent is going to tell you to do. There you go. All free. You didn't have to have me in your house. You didn't have to sit down and, you know, tell me to go away. You didn't have to choose between da-da-da-da. Now you know. So there you go. Thank you for listening. Paul Linzel, Bluewater Properties.